2023 was by far my favorite year in WWE in quite some time. From crazy moments like CM Punk and Randy Orton returning,
I'm home, Daddy's back,
to the Sami Zayn bloodline story in the first half of the year, to the rise of LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah!
This was definitely a great year to be a wrestling fan. However, we also had to go through some hard times this year with the passing of Bray Wyatt, may he rest in peace. And if you guys didn't know, the very first video on this channel was me predicting what would happen in WWE in 2023. And honestly, I got a lot more things right than I thought I would. But to start a yearly tradition, my name is Grease with Wrestleology, and today, let's do some crazy predictions for WWE in 2024. Starting it off, we gotta talk about who will hold championship gold this year. I mean, after all, everybody wants to get a championship belt at some point. So, to kick it off, I'm gonna go with a nice and easy choice with Cody Rhodes. Most people believe that at WrestleMania 40, we will see Cody versus Roman 2, with Cody actually beating Roman Reigns this time to end the 3+ year title reign and become the undisputed WWE champion. And honestly, I could definitely see the WWE doing this. The next guy who, in my opinion, has to hold some kind of gold this year is none other than CM Punk. Whether he beats Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship or holds another title somehow, I think Punk's return showed the WWE that this man is nothing but money, and putting a championship belt on him will only make people more interested. Plus, that's my GOAT, so get on it, Triple H. As for who else should hold the title this year, well, I got 3 more guys that I think are pretty decent picks: Randy Orton, LA Knight, yeah, and Shinsuke Nakamura. As for Orton, he recently just came back, and after not seeing Randy wrestle for what felt like forever, I could see the WWE giving him a title in order to have a future star maybe take it off of him in the future. LA Knight, in my opinion, will beat Logan Paul at WrestleMania 40 for the United States Championship, although we do need a world title reign from him in the future as well. And as for Shinsuke, he's kind of the dark horse pick here, as he's been more of an enhancement guy to the true main eventers recently, but I don't know, I love his work. The feud with Rollins was awesome, and I really thought Shinsuke should have won that last man standing match at Fastlane. I've been dreaming of Shinsuke to become world champion for years now, and even if it isn't a world title, it'd be dope to see him hold another strap this year. Speaking of dreams, by the way, let's get into some dream matches of mine that I think have great shots of happening in the year 2024. Starting it off with an easy one, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Obviously, this match has a 99.99999 chance of happening, as they're literally entering a feud, but the overall idea of this feud is literally the best thing ever. Seth and Punk are known to actually dislike each other in real life, and this is one of those where I think even the promos leading up to the match could possibly be even better than the match itself. This is also a match that I personally have always wanted to see, as Seth became my #1 guy after the whole Authority and Heist of the Century thing, only because my previous #1, CM Punk, was already out of the company. I need to see this. Another one I'd love to see is CM Punk, but versus AJ Styles. Once again, Punk was out of the company by the time AJ Styles debuted and started making waves in the WWE, and this was honestly a match I thought we'd never see in the WWE, so for them to both be active and on the roster, this is one I would love to see happen, and hopefully it'll be a long one as well, because I think that they could go and make something crazy happen. Alright, now enough about Punk, I get it, I know, let's bring in some other people. Next match I need is Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. Before, when Orton and Cody were feuding during the downfall of Legacy, it was a very young and fresh Cody Rhodes who wasn't even close to being a main eventer. But now, Cody is literally being set up as the next face of the company. So to see this match in feud form, I think it would be incredibly cool, especially since the promos could have callbacks to their time in Legacy. I don't know, this one seems awesome. Speaking of awesome, the next match has The Miz. Yeah, just kidding. But The Miz has feuded with both of these guys before. I want to see John Cena versus LA Knight in 2024. I know they were partners this year with Cena's brief rivalry against the Bloodline, but I'd love to see these guys not only wrestle each other, but also fry each other on the mic, because both Knight and Cena are charisma juggernauts, and I just know those promos would hit. And as for the final dream match, we're recycling it from last year's list, and in fact, we're gonna recycle it every year until it happens. Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. This match, it sells itself, man. Both guys are absolute beasts, and Gunther needs to beat Brock in a passing of the torch type moment to become the new beast of WWE, and what better place than the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania 40. Speaking of WrestleMania, you know what match used to be at WrestleMania, and I low-key think it would be fire if they made it there again? Yeah, Money in the Bank. And for some reason last year, I didn't include any women winner predictions, so we're gonna fix that this year, as I have 4 names, 2 guys and 2 girls, that I think could potentially win the briefcase. Starting it off with the guys, my number 1 pick has to be Dominic Mysterio. I mean, the dude gets massive boos whenever he tries to open his mouth.
At
Just imagine if he was holding a briefcase that guaranteed him a world title shot. I mean, that would just be insane. As for the women, I gotta go with another heel in Tiffany Stratton, as I think she has a great chance of being called up this year and would fit the briefcase nicely. Maybe even make her own pink version of the case because she thinks the regular one is too ugly or something. As for the other male prediction, I gotta go with a personal pick for this one in Sami Zayn. It seems like Sami's main event momentum kind of fizzled out in the second half of 2023, but I'm still on the Sami train, and I'm not getting off till the guy wins a world title. This is an underdog story that I'm gonna need to unfold somehow, and even if it means winning the title on a cash-in and not in an honorable main event, it is what it is, bro. I need to see it happen. As for the final prediction for the Money in the Bank winners, I actually have Jade Cargill on the women's side of things. We know that she signed to WWE this past summer, and while we haven't seen much of her recently, in fact, she hasn't wrestled a match on TV yet, I know they've been working on her behind the scenes in the Performance Center and getting her ready to become a major player in the women's division, and I think putting the briefcase on her can make her an instant threat, and she would be a pretty good choice in my opinion. But also, you know what other event has both men and women winners every year? Yeah, I mean, I think you guessed it. It's time for the Royal Rumble predictions, and this year I only wrote down 2 names. Now, I will be attending the Rumble again this year, so if these 2 people don't win, I'd be really, 1, surprised, pissed off, and probably would want a refund. Not really, but anyway, for the men's side of things, I got my GOAT, CM Punk, winning it. And I know some people think Cody's going back to back with the Rumble wins, but honestly, that'd be kind of boring, wouldn't it? Instead, if they're gonna do Punk versus Seth at WrestleMania, I'd rather see CM Punk get his first ever Rumble win and secure himself a WrestleMania main event, something that he's always wanted and deserved, but never got. For the women's side of things, this is probably another obvious one, but I gotta go with Becky Lynch here. And I think what happened was they wanted to save the Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley feud for WrestleMania, and that's why Rhea has been wrestling pretty much nobodies. Well, not nobodies, but you know what I mean. And I think Becky winning the Rumble easily starts that story. So, I don't know. I think Becky's going to win the Rumble. Wouldn't that also make her the first ever 2-time women's Rumble winner in history? Yeah, I think that's a pretty good thing. Anyway, for the final part of the video, we're just going to have some crazy moments in general that I think either could happen or I just really want to happen this year. And these are wild, okay? Anyway, kicking it off with a light one though, I'm not going to lie. I think 2024 is the year that Gunther's Intercontinental title reign will finally come to an end. And I think Gunther needs to be in the world title picture now, so he can't really do that holding a mid-card title, even though, you know, it's super prestigious now. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna call up Ilya Dragunov and have him break Gunther's long reign again, but this time on the main roster. Let's do it. The next bold prediction is kind of, bossy? Yeah, okay, that's right. I think we see Sasha Banks make her return to the WWE. I mean, think about it. It makes sense. Sasha left because Vince McMahon was booking her atrociously, but now the Triple H is in charge. Triple H always showed love to Sasha back in her NXT days, so there's no reason for her at all to still want to stay away. Plus, I think the talks with Sasha Banks signing with AEW have kind of fizzled out as well, so yeah, this would honestly be awesome. Also, Sasha is probably my favorite women's wrestler of all time, and I could see this happening even as early as the Royal Rumble. For the next prediction, bear with me because this one's probably stupid, but damn it, let me dream. Okay, Stone Cold will come back to the WWE and somehow confront CM Punk. Now, I'm not saying they're gonna have a match, but just a tease would be enough to not only get me hyped up for the potential match in the future, but it would just be such an awesome moment. Kind of what happened back when Punk was still rocking the new Nexus shirt over a decade ago. And alright, for the final prediction of the video, this one might piss some people off. Are you ready?
Yeah!
Alright, screw it. Roman Reigns will beat Cody Rhodes again at WrestleMania to continue his legendary title reign.
What?
I know, this one's probably going to be annoying if it happened, but with Roman being so close to breaking Hulk Hogan's record, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if WWE threw another curveball and had Cody lose twice in back-to-back WrestleManias. Also, I do want to add, if this does somehow happen, then Cody cannot be the guy to beat Roman's reign on a third attempt. I mean, that would just be silly. But yeah, those are my predictions. Comment yours down below and drop a like as well as subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and Happy New Year's to everybody. Love you guys. Let's have a great 2024.